My Little Girl, written by Cracked Inkwell. Chapter 15. Once Upon a Time. Lauren returned to the castle along with Twilight, Applejack, and the rest of the guards. She asked to speak to Celestia, who, at the time, was still in day court. When word got to Celestia that Lauren wanted to see her, she called out for the court to take a break, that despite the murmurs from the lords, ambassadors, and representatives, they obeyed. "You wanted to see me, Lauren?" Celestia asked, stepping out of the throne room. "Celestia, I want to go back home," Lauren told her. For a moment, Celestia paused to register what she had just heard. Are you sure?" "Yeah," Lauren nodded. "I've been gone for a whole day, and my parents are probably freaking out as to where I am. So can I go home?" Celestia thought for a moment. "Twilight, may I have a word with you?" Her student nodded and walked away out of an earshot from Lauren. Not too long, the other elements, including Spike, showed up. "I just told him you were leaving," Applejack explained. "Are you really gonna go?" Pinkie whined. "Couldn't you just stay a little bit longer? We haven't played any good games yet. We're pulling pranks on you, Pony." Lauren told her that she was sorry, but she had to go. "Well, that's a little disappointing," Rainbow commented. "But then again, I can clearly see why." "You do?" Lauren asked. "Yeah, you're so loyal to your family, even after being here for a day. I totally get it. They're probably worried sick about you, as you are with them." "No pony is stopping you," Fluttershy quietly said. "Although, we would like to get to know you more. As much as I would like to have you around to experiment styles of dresses on," Rarity said, levitating a brush to sweep the dust off of Lauren's clothes. "I do understand where your priorities lie, but dear, do try to come back when you can. It has been a pleasure having you around." "Really?" "Yeah," Spike said, nodding. "You're actually fun to talk to. Sorry about getting you in trouble. Oh, and here's your pajamas, by the way." "Alright. Thanks," she told Spike after she took her clothes back. Lauren heard the approaching footsteps of the princess and her student. "Alright, please follow me, Lauren," Celestia said. "We'll show you the way to your home." The Solar Princess led the way through the hallways and staircases until they got to the hole in the wall where Lauren emerged from. "So," Celestia started, "I hope this isn't exactly goodbye." "I don't think so," Lauren said. "I really want to come back here, you know? With all of you here, why wouldn't I come back to see you? So, see ya." "Lauren, wait!" "What is—" Celestia was hugging her. Not to say that Lauren was taken by surprise at the sudden action, but the hug didn't last long. After Celestia let go, she said, "Just try to come back to visit as often if you can, please." Sure. "Lauren, if you don't mind," Twilight stated, "I would like to escort you back home." "Can I come too?" Spike asked, in which Twilight granted the request. Lauren and the pony said their farewells before she, Twilight, and Spike started to crawl back into the tunnel. Twilight led the way with her horn that glowed in the darkness of the twisting and winding path. The stone tunnel gave way to the ancient knickknacks, tools, and toys, until they saw the wooden beams and the painted statue, in which they found themselves under a bed. They crawled out and find themselves in Lauren's bedroom, with the lamp on the nightstand still on, and the clock on the nightstand which read 3:46. A quick look out the window showed that it was still dark outside. "So, this is your room?" Twilight asked, picking up one of the plastic ponies that lay around. "I'm sorry to say this, but this has got to be the ugliest looking pony I've ever seen." Lauren laughed. you gonna tell your parents? Spike asked. I don't really know. They probably would be mad at me for disappearing like that, Lauren said. But you know what I should tell them? Since I've been in that world and all that? Twilight paused, taking a deep breath, looked at Lauren in the eyes and said, "Actually, I do." "And what's that?" "Lauren, I am so sorry for this." "Sorry for what?" The answer came as Twilight's horn lit up and a beam of light lit Lauren's head, and like that, she was out cold. "Twilight, what was that for?" Spike asked, running over to the unconscious human. "Don't worry, Spike. She'll be alright. Princess Celestia had given me an order to put a spell on her." "What did you do?" "Don't worry. I didn't erase her memory of what happened over the past 24 hours. I actually changed it a little," Twilight explained, while she set to work in changing Lauren's clothes from what Rarity had made back into her pajamas. "Changed how?" "She will still remember her time in Equestria with all those ponies she's met, but to her, now she'll only remember it as a dream." "But why?" It's hard to explain, Spike, but Celestia has told me to do this to prevent a paradox." "Paradox? What are you talking about?" "If I told you that this is the very creator of Equestria, only that she hasn't created it yet, would you believe me?" Spike blinked. "What?" "Exactly." Twilight had finished changing Lauren and put her into bed. "But remember what we've learned when the me from the future came to me and tried to warn me of certain destruction? I've learned something else that day." "And what's that?" "Time would always find a way to mend itself. Now come on, Spike. Let's go home." And with that, after switching off the light, Twilight and Spike crawled back under the bed and headed back for Equestria. "Lauren, get up. It's time for breakfast," her older brother shouted from another part of the house. She didn't feel like waking up, even though her mind was starting to. Bit by bit, the dream from last night came back to her. It was about ponies, a place called Canterlot in Equestria, and meeting two princesses called... "Lauren, come on! Breakfast is getting cold!" her mother called out. She opened her eyes to the now brightly lit room from the morning sun. After a minute, she slumped out of bed. "What a dream," she muttered. "It kinda seemed real though." But as she even got halfway across the room, she remembered that in the dream, there was a tunnel underneath her bed. She went over to the bed, near the headboard, knelt down to take a look from under the blankets. She only saw a solid wall, even touched it to confirm this. "Lauren!" her mother called out. "Coming!" she replied as she headed towards the kitchen. California, 2008. Lauren got into her car, and before driving away, she decided to call Craig and tell him the news. "Hello?" "Hey Craig, it's me." "Lauren, hey, what's going on?" "Well, I got some news over here. Hasbro just hired me." "Hasbro? For what?" "They want me to develop a TV show for them to update a franchise." "Which one?" "Remember how I always wanted to push for a show for girls, but the pitch is always shot down?" "Yeah." "They want me to make a pitch Bible for, get this, My Little Pony." "Oh, you poor miserable soul, are you sure?" "Oh yeah, they wanted me to do it. They said that I'll get some help with this, but I don't know. I'm very skeptical about this." "I can see why. I mean, aren't the other shows dull?" "Yeah, Lauren, I'm starting to get worried. This sounds like a bomb waiting to happen." "Well, who knows? Maybe something good could come out of it. For all I know, After all, we helped to make something like Powerpuff Girls work, and your Fosters... Yeah, but as I recall, you really helped me out with that show. But those shows were original. This is My Little Pony we're talking about here. Lauren, do you have any ideas how to make it work? Well, I guess I could do some bit of research. Look back on the show over the years to see what worked and what didn't. Maybe you could throw that dream in there? What dream? Remember that dream you told me about? The one where you were like 12, 13 years old? About being in a land of talking ponies? Oh, that dream. Craig, I barely remember it, other than a few bits and pieces. In your position, trust me, you're gonna need all the help you can get. You know, maybe we could spend some time together to pitch a few ideas. I'll try to help you see where this goes. Thanks, Craig. Just give me some time to think. I may come up with something. I'll see you later tonight. Bye. Okay, bye. Lauren hung up. She drove a little until she came to a stoplight. My Little Pony, a show that was nothing but tea parties, useless giggles, and villains so badly written that they were easily defeated by sharing. Perhaps the whole thing needs to be scrapped and need to be done over again. Maybe the show could be or have an actual storyline that isn't just for little girls. After all, if there's anything that Powerpuff Girls or even Fosters have taught her, is that kids expect quality from their shows too. But what to do with My Little Pony? The light turned green and she drove another block or so until she reached another stoplight. She wondered if the story needs to be redone, or maybe she could pitch a new kind of story. One that would use only the good things from the show's past, but make it timeless. Perhaps give the show a world of its own too. And there it was. That unbeknownst to Lauren, when she muttered those 4 famous words of any fairy tale, which she began to dream of a world. That she shaped a kingdom, characters that would be interesting, funny, kind. She began to imagine a town full of ponies of every color, that they would have rules, food, culture, and a history of their own. A place where magic and mythical creatures explore dark forests and deadly mountains. As the light turned green, those words that Lauren muttered were, "Once upon a time." This was the happiest day of Twilight Sparkle's life. Today, she had become the envy of Equestria. Today, she had been crowned a princess of friendship and ascended into alicornhood along with the other 3 princesses. The celebration of the big coronation, parade, and a feast was now over. Princess Celestia, Luna, and Twilight were walking away from the ballroom from Twilight's ball. Celestia nuzzled her student. "I am so proud of you," she said. "I know, I just can't believe this is really happening to me," Twilight yawned. "But it has been a long day." "I hope you're not too tired, are you?" The 3 princesses stopped when they heard that question. They turned around to find, to Twilight's surprise, a cream-colored mare with a red mane, alicorn, that was as tall as Celestia standing behind them. Celestia and Luna froze when they saw who she was. "Of course, you did have a long day, that I understand," the alicorn said. "So I hope me saying congratulations, Twilight, isn't too much, as well as saying hello." "Mother!" Both Celestia and Luna cried out as they went over to their mother and embraced her. "It's so good to see you again," Luna said. "Mother?" Twilight asked. Her mind reeled back to the day they met a young human who came to Equestria, the one who her mentor said was her mother, a mother who goes by the name of... "Oh, that's right," the princess's mother realized. "I don't think we've quite met. You may not know about me, but I do know quite a bit about you. She went over to Twilight and offered a hug to her. My name is Lauren Faust, but you can just call me Lauren. Twilight fainted. Lauren blinked a few times. She turned to her daughters. Was it something I said? She asked. This was chapter 15 and the final chapter to My Little Girl, written by Cracked Inkwell. Thank you every pony for sticking with me through this journey. This was quite an amazing story. Cracked Inkwell, you have quite the talent, and I do hope you'll let me read some more of your stories in the future. And I do hope you tune in when I start posting my own stories. I don't know which one I'll do just yet, but I assure you it will be a good one. This might be a good movie to have, a part of the MLP universe. Though how they would do it, I'm not sure. What if they actually found a story and thought that it would make a good movie? That would be something. And I anxiously await for the next season and the next movie that's coming out, as I do hope all of you await that time as well. I am Lotus Moon, and I wish all of you a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night wherever you are. It has been my honor reading for all of you. Please continue to support me. Good night, every pony. Sweet dreams.